3, 2, 1.
Here at the iStem Robotics team, we might not take our fashion seriously, but we take our safety seriously. Starting down the safety checklist required in this video, we have the size requirements. So in a 14 by 14 box, which is about yay big, it fits, and it kind of doesn't, but if you turn it 90 degrees and cross your fingers and hope to God, it actually ends up fitting in a 14 by 14 box. Might be a little tilted and not sit perfectly flat on the ground, but that's not in the instructions. Moving down the list, spinning weapons come into a full stop of within 60 seconds of the power being removed using a self-containing braking system. So in this robot, we have a crawler ESC that has motor braking. I'd love to test it here, but due to safety concerns, we won't be running the motor, just because I do not feel safe this close to a BattleBot running a motor. But this does have internal braking that will brake the ESC in under 5 seconds. Spinning weapons cannot contact the wall above 5 inches. So if we look at the robot, we only sit at about 1.25 inches off the ground. Moving on. All springs, flywheels, and similar kinetic energy storing devices have a failsafe to position on loss of radio contact or power. On loss of radio contact, if you would please hand me the radio from the bag. We do have a failsafe set up. If I power on the radio. First, we have a failsafe that has all switches in the off position upon starting the radio. But if we move to failsafes, I can show that upon power off, if you'd like to focus here, all channels instantly set to 0%. That is channel 1 and 2 for movement and channel 3 for weapon. I threw channel 4 in there just in case something might happen, which would be yaw on this controller. Moving weapons that can cause damage or injury have a clearly visible locking device. As you can see, I have 3D printed a clamp that completely covers the blade with 2 lock screws. They are very small, but they are very effective. They will not release from the blade, and they stop the blade from moving. I am putting significant force against this in either direction, stopping here and stopping here. Locking devices are painted in neon orange or another high visibility color. I call this a very high visibility orange. Locking devices are clearly capable of stopping, arresting, or otherwise preventing the motion of the weapon. We have 2 lock screws, and as I said, significant force does not budge. Robot can be fully deactivated, which includes power and drive to weaponry in under 60 seconds by a manual disconnect. So you take the robot, and if it is still spinning, you can hold it back here, flip it upside down, easily locate the blue XT60 connector, which has purposely been painted in a separate color to show that this is the main XT60 connector. Pull the battery, robot is deactivated. Electrical power to weapons and drive systems that could cause potential bodily injury has a manual disconnect that can be activated within 15 seconds without endangering the person turning it off. Again, you could use this same disconnect, or there is a secondary disconnect, and currently the ESC is unplugged. As you can tell, this XT60 connector leads to the weapon, so at any time you can quickly flip over the robot, as I shown, hands very far away from the weapon, grab on to the ESC, and pull, and you've disconnected the ESC. Can be done in under 5 seconds. Radio system stops all motion in the robot, drive, and weapons when transmitter loses power or signal. I've already shown you that. All failsafes are set to 0% throttle upon power off or loss of power. Onboard voltage is less than 48 volts. I believe I do still have the battery in my bag. I use a simple 3-cell battery. The battery I'm about to show you is much bigger than what we will be using for weight requirements. This just fits at 3 pounds. Also, as you just heard, the transmitter does have a alert when it is disconnected from the robot for over 30 seconds. I will be using a smaller version of this same brand that is a 3-cell maximum of 12.6 volts, far under the limit. And then finally, pneumatics and/or hydraulics meets the requirements. There are no pneumatics or hydraulics, so I believe I meet the requirements. This has been the Total Complete Safety Breakdown. Hope you enjoy.